Okay, 16-18, good luck. Okay, no need to make your first move too quick, it is rapid chess. Opponent 6,000 games, that's really impressive. But yeah, the clocks don't actually start until both players make the first moves, for anyone who's not aware of that. So we're playing more a default game this one rather than a traditional reti opening. Let's just go a nice steady e3 and challenge for the center. So I'll take back with the pawn. And as per usual, we're just trying to get all our pieces developed somewhere or other, get castled, then worry about what to do. Okay, so he plays forward. I think I'm just going to play a nice steady bishop up, preparing castling. He's come forward. The castle takes, and he's got knight or bishop in, but we do hit the pawn this way. So do we want to do that? I think bishop up is probably the sensible move, or we can maybe push the pawn on. I think I'll just develop the bishop for now and just guard in the center. So if takes, I can take back and the pawn's still double guarded. He can maybe get aggressive, go this way. I'm just going to look to try and get castled. The opponent obviously just needs knight up, and we could both castle and we both completed development. But they can worry about their moves, we'll worry about ours. He has indeed gone for that aggressive approach with the queen down. So do we want to go for a sacrifice? So castle. I mean, he's allowed pawn up immediately, but queen takes is a problem. What is it? So up. Lose a pawn. And say we gain a knight. We then just simply lose a knight, right? So everything collapses. That's no good. Knight across, you can check. We can block. Alternative, which I might go for, just simply castle. Queen comes forward. The knight can jump up. I'm going to gamble and do it. Just castle. See if he goes for the sack. He doesn't. He just takes. What's he lined up? He played that so quick, didn't he? He's obviously thinking on my time, but he played that so fast instead of just grabbing the pawn. So he's taken that way. Okay, so he's threatening to take with a check. So I could grab the pawn here. Yeah, I could throw in a queen check first, and he can't actually block. So I can get my queen out of the way, and he'll have to move his king. But then if I take, he takes back here. Doesn't quite work out, but it is a nice check. If I take here, queen takes, then I take here. Pawn might fall at the end, actually. Take here. But then his rook would be hanging, wouldn't it? Yeah. Let's grab the pawn. Might prove to be a big mistake, but I am actually threatening a queen check here. And he can't adequately block it, so say rook across, we can throw a check in now. Potentially anyway, or we could take the knight and then throw a check in. Knight checks either way. Sorry, then obviously we can cover and take back. Yeah, he's taken now, so I assume we just take here. Again, I could throw a check in. This time he can block, so let's just take. I'd probably play knight up if I was black, but he could just trade and then play knight up. If he plays knight up first, which he's done, again, I can throw this check idea in and try and stop him castling. That makes sense to me, but I've also got knight up, but he just castles, so I'm going to quickly throw the check in. I mean, maybe he can just go here. So can I gain the knight now? Take. Yeah, I moved a bit quick there, didn't I? Actually, why didn't I work that out? That was silly. Okay, he'll have to take with his king. He can't castle, but he's fine. So, let's play a rook across, pawn up, and maybe trade the bishop for something. And he's played it rather well, isn't he? But he's played it rather quickly as well. So he comes forward. No thinking time. I think I'm going to drop the bishop back there. I want to do this for a nice chain of pawns. I'll kick the knight somewhere and I'll bring the rook across. That sort of concept. So that kind of pushes me into that. And I want to kick the knight, give my king an emergency square, and get my rook across. It's whether I put the rooks on the two centre squares this way, or bring the rook across and keep this rook for this queen side. Okay, so rook forward does give us a chance to jump the knight forward with a tempo attacking that rook. It also means when he goes back though, he challenges our knight. So say we go here, he could go back anywhere. Here, back, I can challenge with the bishop. He'll probably come across. So knight up, if he comes across, the pawn's loose. Yeah, I'm just going to kick the knight and bring bishop up, I think. Maybe even bishop up to attack the knight. Yeah, I like the look of that, actually. I'm threatening to take, and then knight up, and we hit the rook and bishop. Yeah, he's played too quick. He's not thinking. So he's just blundered now, allowing us to attack 2. He might have to go back and give up the exchange. He's up a minute on the clock. Just got to slow down and use your time if you can. Might be still perfectly fine. Oh, that's I can see why he would do that. That's a check. So now I can get across. Now here is dangerous because it's a dark square. No, I'll go on a light square here for now. Rook across, I'll probably play a4, but it could be still awkward to try and convert here with 2 rooks against rook and bishop with all these pawns. It could be awkward to actually convert. Let's bring a rook forward. I'm probably going to play a4 when I need to, when he forces it. Then try and get the other rook across. But is it sackable now? So rook over here. If he takes, I take with check and then I take this one. That's got to be better. So I'm going to double the rooks up first. And then try and get 2 pawns for the price of 1. He's gone back to guard, so now I'll push the pawn. There may be a move like f4 to try and rip the king's defences open, but it's not easy. Oh, he's trading. Surely that's got to be a mistake. Here, rook up. He'll have to play back. Surely, eventually I can bring my king across and convert that. He's going to have to play a bishop back, I assume, to guard his pawns. We'll just try and run our king over and eventually push and break through. Just got to watch out that he might build a big pawn storm on this side. So don't wander the king too far. It's crazy how quick he's played the game, isn't it? He's still up a minute on the clock. Oh, that's hung the pawn. See, he's going too fast and he's now hung the pawn. Everything's on light squares, so there's no danger from the bishop throwing a check in, so it's safe to take. Okay, there. I can just come back. I can go here. He might have to play a bishop down. Now here, is there more of a risk of a stalemate threat? I don't think so, but I'll just go here anyway. I assume bishop down now, but I might get a chance to just take and run. It's possible he could miss that. I can just take the bishop and run the pawn up. That's a threat now, obviously, before he breaks through this side. Okay, so is it winnable now? Take, if I step up, you draw a box around the pawn. And if he can't step into the box, he can't stop it. And it looks like he can't stop it then. We just double check that. Take, pawn up. You just simply draw that box. He can't step in, so that's definitely winnable. That's definitely winning. So we just take and run the outer pawn, and it should be a queen in a few moves' time. That's a nice simple technique. Just draw the box around. If the king can't step in on that next move, you can't stop the pawn. He's just played it a bit too quick, and you can see he's got the fundamentals of a good game there. So let's pause and do a normal review. So 37 moves. They're the move times for both players. You see the fundamentals of a good game there. Dangerous opponent. So let's just see how we actually played it in engine speak, especially if we went wrong in the opening anywhere. That's what you're generally trying to figure out, is if you've made any opening mistakes. Or if there's any like little principles at the end there, like with the little box. Yeah, so we have gone a little bit wrong at the opening here. We're plus 1.8 better and it's come back to level. So we played 95 versus 89 on the accuracy. At least we've been level or better the whole game, and it really takes off round about move 18 is when we're gradually building that real advantage. So at the opening, we're just trying to stick to principles. So here, already a slight mistake, just going a little bit too defensive, just getting a bit more space here. A little bit too defensive here. Otherwise, we're just trying to stick to good principles, get castled, then worry about what to do. So here, I should have put the bishop onto d5 instead of going for this sacrifice. I should have just gone to d5. Maybe it's just to encourage a pawn push and then take. Bishop d5, a6, a4 is the right line. So that's the right line there, as you can see. And we're just coming back to the point where it goes back to level. Yeah, it's completely level in this position. Then we just start to gradually build this advantage up again now. Yeah, and then a pawn here, just to see, moving a little bit too quick, just a couple of seconds on that move, allows us to win an exchange. So bishop back and at least your guard. You come forward with this concept to attack our rook, but of course we're taking with a check here. So we can then move the rook out the way. Then it's a case of just trying to convert without blundering it away. But we've gained a valuable pawn there, and then in this position, like I say, we're just using that box technique just to calculate and make sure when we step up, the king can't step into that box on that move, so you can't stop it. So we've ended up with a good win. We can see a dangerous opponent, the fundamentals of a good game there, so well done.